A lot can change in 24 hours, especially if you're a professional builder. 1 minute wasn't even enough time for me to finish a roof. 1 hour got us a fully furnished pro-level starter home, but for the final build, I went completely off the grid to handcraft a massive custom estate with terraformed landscapes. The scaling gets ridiculous. Let's start with the most stressful 60 seconds of my life. Okay, let's get some pillars here as fast as possible. Oh no, okay. Going fast, guys, going very fast. Okay, let's get our walls in. Window right there. We'll put the windows in at the end. I don't know why I'm doing that. I want to do the roof first, actually. I think the roof is more important. Ah, come on. The roof takes so long. Oh no, I should have just done a flat roof, guys. What was I thinking? Oh, that's time up, guys. I tried, okay? Let me go ahead and like complete the build. Like, let me kind of show you guys what it was supposed to be. It's pretty ugly, I won't even lie. Could use some details. The roof is super flat. So let's see what I can cook up in an hour. All right, guys, and we are at the location for the 1 hour build. Now, I do have a block palette in mind. I wanted to utilize a lot of these cherry and magenta tones, maybe some diorite, maybe some tuff. We'll see how it goes. So let's start the 1 hour clock now. All right, so the first thing I want to do is lay out some pillars. I'm gonna make this build pretty tall. I want to go for like a fantasy theme here. This would be like a pretty decent height. Let's go maybe 5 across. Then we can add our second pillar right here. So here's our initial frame. And then essentially we have this like little extension bit here, okay? So that way we have a little bit of a unique shape there, okay? Not looking bad. What I really want to do now is focus on the roof. So before I actually get to the walls here, let's get a roof trim going with our crimson wood actually. So we'll do a regular stair into the double slope right there. Okay, that's gonna look a little bit better. And now we've already made it to the center, which is gonna be right here. I think we can do a little bit of that. Yeah, that's looking good. Now let's meet that same block on the other side here, just like so. And yeah, that's looking pretty good for the roof. I think that's like a good size. Now let's do the same thing in the rear right here. Now let's quickly get our little peak line here. And before we get to the extension bit, let's create like an extra gable here. I think that'll be a nice detail to add. We could go for like this more rounded shape. I kind of like that. Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. Like it adds like a unique little dormer shape on this side. So we have like the double slope down here, but then we go to the regular slope right there. And that gives us like a little curved design. Now let's make our way to the extension that we made, and we probably have to start right here. So we gotta pretty much have to connect this like so. And then we can begin our gable right there. And I think we go straight into the double slope. All right, and now we're also at a different roof height on every single side. And yeah, that's looking pretty good. Now let's kind of connect these peak lines all together. I think that's pretty much where we'd meet right there, and this one probably meet like right there. Okay, that's looking really nice already. Now that we have the roof trim all done, let's go ahead and add the base layer to the house made out of diorite, and I think we'll just kind of keep it 1 block, and then we can texture it with the regular diorite, so kind of like this. Now that we have the diorite trim, let's go ahead and add in the walls. So we're going to be using the cherry wood for the walls. Okay, now that we have our walls in, let's go ahead and cut out some areas for some windows on the first floor. So I think we can have probably have a door right here, like a side door. Probably have our main door right here, and then I think we should do 2 windows here. So we'll have 1 window there and 1 window there, looking pretty nice. And then we'll do like a single window right there. Now let's go ahead and fill up the second floor as well. Let's go with pale oak. Let's also add in our little pillars underneath these ridge lines. There we go. And I think this will help sandwich the pink in between 2 different white tones, and it'll kind of give our build some more neutral tones, which will help us balance the color palette. Looking at that from the outside, you can see it actually looks really nice. So let's go ahead and cut out some windows again. I think just a single little window right there will look nice. We could potentially have one there, and then maybe window right there. And yeah, we can pretty much put a window on every single gable. That's looking really nice. Let's go ahead and texture the pale oak wood by adding in some planks here and there, just like so. The texturing looks really nice with these blocks. And we can texture a couple more like so. Some very light texturing, but it does have the texturing nonetheless. And let's actually try to texture our cherry down here. I think it'll look okay, but I could be wrong. Let's try with 1 wall first and see if we want this texturing. Yeah, it does look more fantasy, so I think I want to keep it. Now we have our texturing for the bottom wall and the top wall, and we have our base trim at the bottom. Now let's go ahead and fill in our roof with the polished tuff. Let's start with like the main staircase, the stair blocks at the top, and then we'll eventually make our way like so. Extend out like that. There we go. And then we are going to texture this with something. We'll figure it out in a second. All right. And that's how the tuff is looking. Yeah, that's a pretty cool block palette. I think it looks really nice. Okay, now that the tuff roof is filled in, I do want to add some texturing. I think we just utilize the tuff bricks to texture, and that should be enough for the texturing. Let's go ahead and add in some of that. Okay, we still have 45 minutes left, so we're doing fine. All right, so now all the texturing is done for the roof, the walls, and everything else. Let's go ahead and fill up the doors and the windows with some glass. Let's actually choose the door that we want to use. I think I kind of want to go with the oxidized copper door, maybe even some copper accents here and there. As for the glass, we could probably go with similar tones. We can go with like a light blue or something like that. Let's start with the windows first. That gives us a bit of contrast from the walls. That's looking good. And now the copper door, let's throw that in and see how that looks. Okay, nice. The copper door also provides a bit of contrast. Now what we're going to do is we're going to connect all of these little pillar bits and add some detail there. Maybe add in some extra detail with the slabs, by the way. I totally forgot to do that with the roof. And then we also are going to add some buttons on all of these pillars that are sticking out. All right, there we go. Let's go ahead and add the slabs. Okay, the slabs are in. Now let's start with the horizontal pillars. I'm not really too sure what we're going to add in between. Maybe let's grab some of these crimson blocks and see what we can do. Okay, so we can start with this kind of design. Pretty simple. I kind of want to go for something a bit more curvy so we can lean into that fantasy theme. And maybe we can even use like these copper lanterns instead. Yeah, give it that fantasy look. Now that we have the horizontal pillars connected, let's figure out how we're going to connect the pillars on the outside. So I'm also thinking of using the tuff wall blocks. Let's go ahead and add those around. We can texture these in different ways. What if I utilize the warped fence instead? So we can pull from the blue tones of the copper. I think that would look a little bit better. That way we have some nice contrast there. So we're going to stick with that kind of design. We could also go for like a copper rod design, and that might look pretty cool. Let me try that real quick, guys. I know we have some time here, so we're good. Okay, so if I put this in the middle and I put these at the top and bottom, I do like that. That looks really nice. That's very unique. Now that we have that, maybe we can add some like window shutters here and there. So we'll keep these big window shutters just on that window. I think that makes the most sense. And I think for the rest of these windows, we're going to go with a different sort of design. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to grab a campfire. We're going to extinguish it. And then we can go ahead and add a warped fence gate. I also think we just go with the regular oak just to add in some more neutral colors. It looks pretty good. I don't know if it'll look good up here, but we can try it again. Yeah, that actually looks okay. I don't know. Does that look weird? I'm not too sure if that works or not, but we're going to keep it for now. And how much time do we have? We have about 36 minutes left. Okay, so we'll keep that for now. Okay, I think it looks really weird actually on this one. Maybe like we do keep these shutters for now on just these two portions there. And then on this one, we kind of just keep it empty. Okay, that's looking pretty good. But I think the first thing we have to do is add like a little frame to the door here. And I think we kind of keep in that oak theme. Let's go ahead and grab some oak blocks. Maybe we can add like a little door frame like this in the front. I think the oak accents will actually help out a lot. What if this is even oak? We need to break up some of this color that we have going on, okay? And we can even grab the fenced gates and throw those like at the top there. Yeah, that actually looks pretty nice. Like little supports. I think this one we don't touch that one. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and grab this wall block. There we go. We can step up to this little area for our entryway. We probably need it on this side as well. Now, how would this look? I'm trying to go for a weird design, guys, but I'm not too sure. Okay, I'm gonna kind of leave that blank. Maybe we could just have the lantern hanging there. Yeah, that looks okay. I would like to add some amenities. We don't have any right now. Let's see, we're about halfway through. We gotta add some amenities, maybe even an interior if there's time. At least a floor. I do want to add a floor. Let's go with this beehive block. Let's go all the way across and have like a little stripe floor going on in here. And then we can use these stripped logs going across. There we go. And we do have a little bit of an interior going on. Okay, let's think amenities real quick. Like what can we add? I think we need like a chimney. I think we need like a kind of whimsical design here, like very curved. Okay, let's think where we want it. And that might look okay actually if I throw it in this corner. And then it kind of just goes into the wall or something there. And it can come out probably right over here and maybe even into this block like so. It's a super quick chimney design. How is that looking? It looks pretty good. We can like replace some of these blocks for stair block. Make it look kind of broken up it. I think something like that. Yeah, that looks good. And now let's add some texture with some granite. Add some granite pieces here and there. There you go. And there is one amenity. Think of another. Okay, let's do like a garden over here. And the way I want to do this garden is a little bit different. I want to have that kind of on the floor, but I want it framed out with some tuff. Let's take the tough bricks here, kind of like that. Mix up some of these. And then what we can do is add in some trapdoors to kind of act as a little trim, kind of like that. And then what we can do is we can actually utilize at least one fence block right there and throw in a light, so this place has some light. And then we can find some various crops to grow back here, like some ferns, some bushes, maybe some pink flowers and some blue flowers. We'll kind of keep with that pink and blue theme. And there we go. We have like a little makeshift garden back here. And then I'm thinking on this side, we just have like a storage pile, just kind of random stuff back here. Let's just like throw in some random items back here. We can throw in like a brewing stand, some candles to light up the area. We can have like an enchanting table there, maybe like right there. We can throw in like a crafting table there, a bell on the ground, kind of sideways, so that can be a candle. We can have like an empty bookshelf right here. Actually, let's throw in the candles there. Maybe like one more brewing stand there. We have some light over here. There we go. And I think we need to add some extinguished campfires kind of around here just to give it some more 3D depth. Maybe one on top right there. There we go. Little magical storage pile. Pretty cool. And then what I really want to do is I want to add in some potted plants even. We can use the azaleas bushes. Maybe we can kind of like sprinkle these around like throughout the build as if they're vines. They're kind of overgrown. And then they can even come up into the roof here a little bit, just like that. Okay, that looks pretty good. And then we can have like a little bit of leaf action going on here. Nothing too crazy. That's looking pretty good. So that's some details here and there. Just some plants there. We could definitely add a potted plant there. Let's try to throw candles there. Let's see how that looks. That lights up the area. There we go. That's looking pretty decent. How much time do we have left? We have 22 minutes left. Let's see what else we can do. We could do a little bit of this and maybe like a fern on this side. That's looking pretty decent actually. Let's throw in like a mushroom right there. Okay, it's looking pretty magical so far. Pretty nice. Okay, not bad. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. I think we get rid of this. It's like a small little plant there. Yeah, I actually like how that looks. Adds in some variation. Okay, we're looking pretty good right now. Let's see if we can add in some more detail to this roof. I'm not too sure how this is gonna look. Yeah, I think we can do that. I think this just gives us a little bit more shape to the roof here, and I think it's worth it. Yeah, it takes like 2 seconds to do. I actually like how that looks. We could add this on top here though. All right, and that might be it for the exterior. It's looking pretty nice actually. Not bad, not bad. I am kind of speed running through this. Let's start on the interior though, and I do want to have a second floor, by the way. I think we can make that out of spruce. So the first floor is going to be made out of the regular stripped oak. Add in some light in here, see what we're working with. So let's kind of have the pillars going the other way now for the second floor, and then we can just fill up the rest with slabs. And let's have the staircase like here. That's what we'll do for the staircase. Okay, and let me think. We'll have to cover this. We can add like a shelf block or something there. That's okay. And this can even go all the way up to the top. Nice. Now we can go ahead and grab a different color. I was thinking we add in the warped wood, or maybe even the copper, or maybe both. Let's try the warped wood first. I just want to add in some coverage in here. Maybe we can keep some of these leaves, by the way, just to add in some lights. And that gives us a little bit of color. I think it looks pretty nice. Throw a lantern there. We can even hang some lanterns off of some chains, even off of this waxed copper chain. We just have one central lantern, to be honest. And that lights up the whole area. I'm kind of considering getting rid of that chain though. And maybe we just go with like this trim right here. Let's go ahead and add in a hanging sign as a railing right there, just so we don't fall over there. And yeah, we can still go down perfectly fine. All right, there's our staircase. We have a visitor. We're gonna ignore him. Let's kind of consider what rooms we want. So maybe we can have our bedroom up here. I think like a bed right there would be ideal. And then we can have a like little nightstand like so. We can even have this. Now I want this to be more of like a library setup. Let's see what we can do. We can even kind of cut into these a little bit. We don't need those to fully be there. And we can even use paintings to kind of cover up some of these walls that we don't like. I want to keep one there to kind of cover up that brick that we had. We can have a little table here, like like a lectern, like a reading area. Maybe this can serve as like a little trash can in the corner. And the last thing this upper floor needs is a little bit of a carpet. Okay, there we go. I think a little unevenness with the carpet looks nice. And that's it for the top floor. I really want to get the first floor done because we only have 9 minutes left. So here on the first floor, I want to like have like an armor stand display area. Let's make it more of like a nature-y kind of theme down here, you know? Like I think a potted plant right here would be ideal. Let's add in this trap door right there to kind of cover for that. We could have like a lantern right there for now. Maybe we can have like a large table here. I like the shelf idea. Now, what I'm thinking is we can have a potted plant there. Maybe we can have a copper golem like working a chest. He can chill there. Ender chest up there. We can throw in the armor stand. You could do that. As for the armor itself, I think we have to go with like gold or something. I don't know. Just because it's super shiny. Trying my best to add some plant-like accents, kind of like this, you know, like they're kind of supported. Okay, we need to put something in these two corners too. Something that's not a full block. I'm thinking like a grindstone or something there. We have 4 minutes left. Okay, I need to add some paintings as well. I think it's actually a perfect spot for a painting, believe it or not. I think we need like some sort of light over here. I guess we could just hang a lantern there. That's fine. Okay, and I really want something on this wall, but I'm not sure what. Could have like a creeper head over there. I don't want to fill up every single space, you know? We can throw in like a mushroom there. I actually like that. I feel like frame this, make this like a little dedicated cartography area. And what we can do with the floor here, let's actually like break this. Let's throw in like a frog light, and then we can go ahead and add in a carpet. Yeah, the carpet like that looks okay. All right, and that's not bad. I think we have a pretty decent interior there. And how much time do I have left? We have about 1 minute. Can I add a little bit of a path here in the last minute? Let's see. I need some of this, and a little bit of this. We can add like a little bit of a path kind of coming out here, guys. There we go. Maybe a little bit of a path coming out of here with some stones in the pathway. Okay, and maybe like one last thing if I have time. Oh no, I can't find the blocks. Come on, we can do it. Okay, it's like a little step up area. And with that, guys, we have 30 seconds left. Maybe we can add in some azalea details here and there. If I can find the other leaf block, something like that. Okay. And I think with that, there it is. That's 1 full hour complete. A full house, little like fantasy little cottage here. Pretty awesome block palette. More of like a magical design. And we even have a full interior, guys, like an overgrown theme down here. And then a full second floor as well. 1 hour gets you this. That's pretty legit. Now we're going to move on to the build that takes an entire day. And okay, guys, holy hell, we have the final house, which I spent an entire day working on. And when I say day, I mean like actually like 20 hours plus. And as you can see, without even looking at the house first, we have a beautiful landscape surrounding the entire build. So before we even get to the house, let's kind of do a little walkthrough here. So we have obviously a nice tough looking path that goes all the way around the build. Coming up to the front here, we have a little pergola right here with some storage blocks. Nice little outdoor feature. We have a beautiful little pumpkin farm here. We even added the stems with the sea pickles. We have an extra little farm here. We have a lumber pile with some birch wood. And then coming along to the left side of the path, you can see the path gets a little bit thinner, but we make our way down. We have some custom trees, by the way, that I designed. We have like a spruce looking tree, pine tree, and then we have like a little birch tree as well. We have a little garden table up here. We have some garden beds around just like so. And then this path kind of makes its way all the way down here where we have a mine entrance and this little cliff back here. And you can see we have the custom trees still all the way around the area. And then we make our way to the rear entrance right there. And then the path continues all the way around the build. We have a little garden bed over there. We have a custom pond right here with some fish inside. We have a little well back here that actually serves as an infinite water source. And then we have another garden bed. And last but not least, a little park bench right over here with a little umbrella on top. And that's pretty much the landscaping. And if you want to learn more about landscaping, check out my guide right here. All right, and now let's move on to the house. You can see the house is massive. And yes, it is fully furnished with a full interior that's both functional and aesthetic. So if you guys want to like play on your own little survival world, world. You can download this world on Patreon. It'll all be available for you guys. So let's actually start with the exterior of the build. You can see we have a very, very large kind of shape here. Pretty normal base shape. And we have a little bit of an extension on this side right here where the roof is a little bit lower. Now, before we get to the roof, let's talk about some amenities that we have. So you can see in the front, we have a nice little entryway, like a grand entrance right here. It's even has like its own little roof right here. And we have to step up to this little platform to get inside. Coming over to the left side, you can see all of our windows. We have like a nice framing made out of wood. We have a entire slab of stone for the first floor as the foundation made out of tuff. And then on the second floor, we use a lot of birch accents that is trimmed out by spruce accents to create some contrast. And then we have like a little mini garden in front of the house right here. You can see on this side, we have an entire greenhouse extension. It looks really nice. And then we have like a balcony up here, which is actually attached to the master bedroom that we'll get into a little bit later. This part is like a little mini expansion. We have like a little dormer up here that kind of connects with a nice circular window. It looks really cool. And we actually utilize a lot of depth for our windows. You can see like our windows are kind of inside by a block, which gives us like a unique kind of shape to our windows all throughout the build. Even like the windows here that are a little bit smaller, you can see they have like a nice curved shape. We have a little circular window down here as well. Just some, miscellaneous storage blocks right there. Coming over to this side, you can see we have an entire horse stable at the bottom here. We have some donkeys and mules, some horses. We have a lot of stuff down here. It's like a massive, large stable. That is a nice extension piece to this side of the house. 3 large windows, very symmetrical design there. We have a large circle window right over there for the top floor. And you can see, by the way, I actually utilize a different block palette for the top here. You can see we have the pale oak wood just to create some even more contrast from the first floor with the tuff. As for the roof, we went with deep slate blocks going all throughout. You can see we have tons of dormers and leaf blocks everywhere to kind of break up the roof. And we even have like a chimney on this side of the build. We still have our dormers on the rear as well. You can see the rear is pretty simple, pretty basic. We have a rear entrance right there, a lot more subtle compared to the front entrance. This amenity right here, we have like a little overhang with a garden below. It looks really nice. And then we can make our way back to the rear here. We have another little mini balcony here. This is actually for the guest suite, so we can get into that a little bit later with the interior. Our chimney made out of brick goes right up there. It's a pretty large one, in fact. Some extra storage blocks here, and we even like made these cool little corners for our foundation utilizing the wall blocks and the full blocks alternating. It looks really nice for the corner cutouts. You can see on this side we have a smaller window right here, and we have some windows right there as well. These windows have shutters, as you can see, and all around, guys, like it looks really, really nice. And it took so long to do. Like there's too many details to name for the outside, so I think we should make our way to the interior and see what we have. We step up to this nice platform. We have a roof and everything, and then we open up our door, and you can see here is the first floor of the house. And the first thing you probably notice is that it's kind of dark and moody in here, and I kind of wanted to go for that aesthetic because if we have too much light everywhere, it's just going to be way too bright. Everything's going to be very one-dimensional. But here we can create contrast in lighting. And the first thing you probably notice as well is this floor. We have some deep slate flooring, and we also have a little shaggy carpet that goes all throughout. And then here we just have some decorations along the entryway. We have like some bookshelves over here, some leaf blocks up there, a little table here, and a small little table right here with some candles. You can see that on all of the walls, we have different color walls, by the way, right? And we added paintings to break up some of the empty areas for the walls. Now let's make our way to the right side here. This first little opening that we have goes into our dining room. So you can see we have like a full dining room. We have super tall ceilings, by the way, which really, really looks nice here. We have a little dining table here with some nice looking chairs. We got some food up on top of these golden plates. Got some decoration pieces. We got some shelving up here, some barrels, etc. Bookshelves, and then we have some paintings to kind of break up the wall. Now these little windows here with the fence blocks, they actually go to the stables. So they're not really for looking through. They're just for adding in some extra natural lights from the stables. And then here's our kind of larger window that looks in front of the house. This connects to the next room over here. So if we make our way forward down the hall, here's the rear entrance. Again, we have some more decorations here, little table here. And then if we make our way to the right side, we have our beautiful grand kitchen. This kitchen came out really nice. And we have a little island in the center, which is pretty large, I would say. We have cabinets that go all throughout the top of the build. We have our little cat right here chilling. We have an entire gas stove, I would say a pretty large one right here. We just have some campfires underneath here. And then we have a little oven here, which looks really nice. And here is our sink right there. And by the way, what's kind of cool about this oven is that it actually cooks your food, guys. Let's say I grab some raw beef and then I right click it onto the campfire campfire, like so, it's now cooking. And what I did is underneath the campfire, guys, we have a hopper. And then the hopper is going to collect the cooked food and then throw it into this barrel right here. So you can see we have some cooked rabbit down here. So this is actually a functional oven. It's actually really cool. And it takes 0 coal to cook your food. Pretty awesome way to add some functionality to some of these rooms. And you can see it just kind of connects over to the dining room, which is really nice. Let's make our way over to the left side. You can see we have a nice grand staircase. We have a little open area here. I wanted to keep this part a little bit more open concept. We have some brewing stands. We have some shelving. We have like a nice little grandfather clock right here. And then we have like a little book probably full of recipes and such. A nice grand window that overlooks the rear. You can see like the mine entrance. It looks really cool from this side right here. Some decorations up top. And then this kind of serves as like a little storage cubby back here. We have like our little nether wart that we can use for the potions that just grows back here. And some extra storage back there. Also a little carpet here. And that's it for this little magical area. So now if we turn to the left here, you can see, wait, this actually isn't supposed to be here. You can see we have a workshop actually. So this whole entire room is our workshop. So all of our crafting can be done here. We have our crafting table, got some armor stands and such. We even have some storage with like these double chests around. Our full furnace setup is here. So we can even do our smelting here. We have like a little book, I guess, full of crafting recipes or such. Looks pretty cool. We have a little spyglass right here, I guess. You can spy in the front yard. I don't really know. Got some plants. I got a little table here. And yeah, not to mention we have our smithing table and our anvil, our grindstone. We have everything that we could ever need for crafting in here. So now let's make our way down the hall. We have 2 extra little rooms here. And you can see we have a little copper golem chilling here. Well, that's because these are storage rooms. So like this one is a little bit more like miscellaneous and kind of like treasure storage, I would say. Like we have our dragon head. We just have like shelves going all the way up to the top. We have our ender chest right here. And then this is more like generic storage, you know. Now, if we make our way all the way to the end here, we are now connected to our greenhouse, which has various plants and such in here. I even got some parrots chilling in here just to make it more bright and vibrant. Now, let's make our way to the second floor and see what we have up here, okay? So we have a nice grand staircase, and the staircase is like a little bit of an L shape. So we come up here, and now we're in the hallway of the second floor. And you can see up here, we have a lot more of a closed floor plan because I wanted to go for like that medieval aesthetic. But let's start with like, I guess this main window here. We just have like a little bit of a shelving feature kind of going inside of here. Got some candle lights up here. It's still kind of dark, right? I want to keep that dark, moody aesthetic. We got some, you know, potted plants, some tall ones, some shelves like in the corner there. We got like a little bit of a table in the hallway, and we have like a little built-in section right here with some bookshelves. It looks really nice actually at the end of the hallway. So let's make our way over to the first room, which is going to be the servants' quarters. So you can see we have like 4 beds here. So I guess you could throw in some villagers here if you really wanted to make it a little bit more realistic since they are kind of our slaves, you know what I mean? But hey, at least they got a jukebox and some other nice features. You can just throw in some random blocks here. They have, you know, this double bunk bed set up. We got some shelves, and they have a pretty nice window, I would say, looking over the backyard and the side yard. So not bad at all for the servants. Now let's make our way to the next bedroom, or the next room, I should say, because this is not a bedroom at all. This is our library. Yes, guys, that's right. We have a full library up on the second floor, and I guess you could throw your enchanting up here if you really wanted to, but here I just wanted to go for like a purely aesthetic design. Tons of bookshelves. We have some ladders to kind of climb up the bookshelves and grab our favorite books off the top shelves. Got some reading areas here in front of the windows, framed out super nice with this spruce pillaring that we have going on. Little table back here, and our other reading area over here, and then in the back we just have some decorations and such, and then our window that overlooks the front yard right here. And then we have some built-in shelving as well, even over here with the barrels. Looks really nice, very cozy kind of reading area. Now for the next room right over here, we have a map room. So I wanted to create this like really cool dark oak looking map room, looking really cool. We have like tons of framing here because of our room being so large. We can like frame out a lot of things with like these stair blocks, the trap doors, the shelf blocks, etc. We even have it right there with like a large map right here. So then we have like a center map table here. I guess in theory this is not really going to serve much of a use besides the cartography table if you want to have an entire room dedicated to that, but you could add cartographer villagers in here to give it some more functionality. Now, before we get to the master bedroom, which is right over there, we're going to make our way to the guest suite. And you guys might think that this guest suite is the master bedroom with how nice it is, but check this out. I mean, guys, this is sick. And this is just for your guests. So here we went with like kind of this purple theme. We even have the crimson door, purple walls with the terracotta, and it looks really nice. So front and center, you walk through, we have our king size bed. It's huge. We have some some built-in shelving right here. We have a framed window, and we even have some curtains that you can see. I kind of like hung these banners down. Got some shelving in the corner here. Plenty of paintings to break up the empty walls. And right over here, we have a large table. I guess you could use this for really anything, even crafting if you really wanted to. And then we have like a built-in kind of storage section right here, which is also aesthetic. Not super duper functional, but you know, it's not bad at all. You still store quite a few items here. We even have some extra barrels down here as well. And keep in mind, like the trim for this entire area, guys, I use barrels for like the bottom trim, as you can see. So technically you could store some items in there. And then this door right here leads to their own private little balcony in the back corner. It looks really cool. And now let's make our way to the master bedroom, guys. So this is going to be your room if you want to download the world. Like I said, it's available on my Patreon. Let's make our way to the master bedroom. So you walk in through the double door. You can see we have a built-in shelf in this corner. We got a nice, beautiful painting of our favorite pet wolf, I guess, right here. We have a beautiful window with some curtains. Another king-size bed. This time it's red. And then we have a door to our beautiful balcony. Very large balcony. We even have like a seating area here. And this overlooks the side yard, the front yard. You can see so much. Now we make our way to the inside. We have another built-in shelving unit right here. Not to mention we have some custom carpeting. And now over here we have, I guess, like a little crafting built-in area here. It looks really nice. It's like a whole piece of furniture right here. We have like a really nice grandfather clock, like a more taller design. I guess we can also like use this as a cartography table if you really wanted to at the bottom there. Back here, you can see we have another window with some curtains, by the way, but I kind of hid like a little music area here. So like we have a jukebox, and then we can save our discs, like our favorite discs can go like in this shelf right here, and we can just play them right in our jukebox. So if we make our way to the staircase, which by the way, I use like the kind of corner stairs here to give it like a little bit of a lip. It looks really nice actually, and it's still very functional to walk on. Make our way up here, and we have an entire like wine attic, but all the barrels here can serve as like extra storage. So it's both aesthetic and functional in that regard. And we have like a little dragon head. We have some decorations, a large painting right there. And that is the entire master suite completed. Now let's make our way to the third story. And I do have some pretty cool functionality up here. Now you can see the floor is kind of transitioning into dark oak only, because I really want to get like that, you know, rustic kind of aesthetic up here. So we make our way to the top. You can see we have a nice built-in right here with our window, kind of overlooks and lets in some natural light. And you can see I wanted to keep it very kind of dark up here. We have really cool and tall vaulted ceilings. I decided to go with the mangrove. It gives us a lot of contrast from the floor, from the walls, etc. The other thing is, you can see we have a beautiful like chandelier right here. It's very rustic looking. We even use like the different kind of copper lights to give it a very unique look. We have like large paintings everywhere to kind of cover up all these walls. Now let's make our way to the room in the front first, because it is the smallest one. This is the enchanting room, guys. So we have a full enchanting setup here. That will get you to level 30. We have some little armor here, I guess, that we are probably going to enchant, but it kind of serves as decoration. This is the window that overlooks the front of the build, I believe. And we even have a grindstone, so if we want to disenchant some stuff, we can definitely do that as well. So pretty small room. This is actually the smallest of the rooms in the attic. So now let's check out this room right here to the left. This is actually our junk and storage room. So we have like these kind of built-in shelving units here. It looks pretty cool. Like I wanted to go for a really dark aesthetic here. So it's only lit up by candlelight, as you can see, like right here. And then we have like one back there. And honestly, I was kind of going for like that Minecraft movie aesthetic, like the Minecraft movie when they went to the Woodland Mansion. There was like a little bit of a storage room up there. We have like a nice grand window here, a little small window there. And you can see we have like a ladder. So like I actually separated this room into 2 stories. So this room actually goes up to a second floor up here. It's a lot smaller, as you can see, but we have even more storage here. And we even have a window all the way up here and right over there. Just some junk blocks and such, but it's a really cool design. And now let's make our way to the final room, which honestly I think is my favorite. I made an entire bar inside of our house in the attic with some villagers. We have like 2 windows as well. We have a full shelf right there. We have some tables. We have villagers like sitting here. I guess they got stuck trying to get the job from this barrel. So they kind of look like, you know, actual customers sitting in the chairs and whatnot. We have a bunch of seating. It's very dark. We have a nice chandelier in the center. And then this is like where you'd get your drinks from the copper golems, which are supposed to be our bartenders. And I guess these guys are so drunk out of their minds that they're dancing on the countertops, but whatever. That's fine. It's really cool. You know, not really functional or anything. And with that, guys, that is the full tour of this ginormous mansion estate that I made, that I probably spent like 24 hours building this. Like, I'm not even joking. This took forever, but it is actually probably one of my best builds I've ever made. If you guys want to download this world and play on it and utilize this as like your main house, don't forget to download this on Patreon. It'll be available. Check out my landscaping guide if you guys want to have a beautiful landscape like this. Check out my house building guide if you guys want to learn how to build a house as amazing as this. And check out my interior guide if you guys want baller interiors such as this one that you're seeing right here. And with that, guys, that's all I have for you. So take care, peace out, and I'll see you in the next one.